Merry post-tank miss, happy new tank year. Something. Awkward beginning aside. Hello, my fellow gaming tankers. And here you see, yes, we're in the Winterfest mode. And it was actually, this was the match where I realized what this was all about. Because this was the match where I was in the WZ-111. This is the Cold War mode. No, the WZ-111 is not a great tank, even in this mode. But this was the mode where I realized this may not just be for fun. Because as we opened up here and I started playing, I realized, hey, yeah, there's some Winter Warriors on my team. Great. I figured out there was actually 3 Winter Warriors on my team, which was really shocking. Thanks for great matchmaking, right? And then it occurred to me, because last year it was fun, everyone could play. We got to use toy tanks against the Ice Queen. But that doesn't really necessarily sell you a tank. Then again, the loot crate, or sorry, war chest restricted tank at that time was the mediocre then, mediocre now, mediocre forever T-54D. I wasn't excited for that tank because I was very aware of similar tanks. And to anyone who felt the need to spend hundreds of dollars trying to win that in the gamble crates of last year, I kind of feel sorry for you. Kind of don't. Yeah. But this year we have the Winter Warrior, which you could either buy for 56,000 gold in the entire Winterfest Mega Pack, or in an, again, tiered loot box thing. You could possibly win it, gamble it. I don't know. Stay tuned for my next video where I open up I have earned a whole bunch of crates. I don't know what I get, but we'll check that out. But yes, unlike I guess what PC's doing, where it's, hey, if you spend 300, 400 bucks on crates, you'll get this, whatever they're doing things. That should definitely be in this, or, you know, put 25,000 gold down on the tank itself and be like, here, whale, go for it. But no, the main way to get the Winter Warrior was to essentially gamble. I don't support it, but I also live in America, and gambling is becoming the new way to find joy and excitement in our lives. Which is why, when I realized there's 3 Winter Warriors in this match, I was like, that's shocking! That's insane! Is the RNG on those crates really good and people are just getting them for free? Or are people, the whales, being sensible and buying the Mega Pack? I don't know. But when I realized, I was like, man, I know I picked a very slow-firing, mediocrely armored, and kind of decent forward speed tank. Accuracy is garbage. But I realized, what is our, like, should I be going, what's our damage per minute going to be, or DPS going to be? Because although this was kind of like the original, like, Cold War training mode for some, which maybe still in place, I haven't played it, but where you had the M1 Abrams going against T-44A bots. And that's when I was like, is this also an advertisement? Because when I thought, oh wow, I get to see how great the Winter Warrior is in a setting where it can't really get ammo racked, where it can't get outflanked by the Weasel MK1 and have its engine get decimated from the rear, because it's an American tank, so of course it's got a fat ass. And I was like, that's genius. This is a genius advertisement. Because again, this is Era 1 tanks that we can use, or the one and only Era 2 multi-weapon. Well, okay, the dual batteries, technically multi-barrel sort of thing. That you can get for free with snowballs. And definitely might shift the meta of Era 1 to medium tanks. Medium tanks have been the thing for Eras 1 and 2 since the beginning. Sort of. Well, not again. But anyway, I'm digressing. So, this is definitely an advertisement for the Winter Warrior, because you get to see it in a setting where the scales are tipped in its favor. And that's why I realized, because we were getting through these opening areas pretty quickly. Gotta be honest with you, the T110E5, while it was definitely a threat and concern to me, they didn't seem to be as big as a holdup as I've seen in previous matches. And we were relatively quickly onto Krampus, which is where I was annoyed by the derpiness of my tank's boom snout. But I knew what I was going in there for. But I get to make silver and train up a commander, because I've got a couple 8 skill commanders. I'm like, let's get that 9 skill out of the way. 1.5 million XP, let's burn through it and get it done. Gotta love having the ability to upgrade a lot of my commander XP boosters to 10x. Yes. But this was obviously, things slowed down here because Krampus is an overpowered fictional mouse now that can slide laterally, backwards, frontally, and oh yeah, I can jump. So, and do that. Yeah, I really enjoyed this too, because this is a lot shorter and simpler than last year's Winterfest, which was only toy tanks. But I think this might be the way forward, where you get to make silver, get commanders round out, and new skills unlocked, but at the same time, you either get to play a new... well, not overpowered in Era 2, but you certainly get to see it in a situation where it could be considered overpowered. God damn it, I remember this moment. I was like, break, break, break. Never mind. So, this is... Now we get to moan about war gambling here. Not... I don't know. I might be spending my money foolishly on this game in the very near future, but it certainly will not be on trying to acquire the Winter Warrior, which I can be patient. I can wait till next year to get in whatever free earn op. If it's not, then I'm totally fine with not owning this bastardization of a T80. It's a T80 turret just clamped onto the hull of an M60 with a French 105 shoved in here with a French 20mm autocannon, which is heat rounds. Premium. At least it's a premium tank, so you might not lose a lot of silver when all you have to do is fire the premium APF-SDS. Anyway, it's a mercenary tank, independent, whatever. So what do you think? Do you enjoy playing this mode, or do you consider it playing in an advertisement now? Because we'll see what next year comes about with what they do next. It's enjoyable. Soon we'll see what the second half is. Very soon, actually. We're hours away from that. Hopefully I can get this out in time. But this is a fun mode, but at the same time, the fact that the one tank that's locked behind the war crates, war chests, can play in this mode, despite being from a different era, kind of was like, oh. I was almost wondering if all 3 were going to show up, but no. So yes, this is a new interesting way to advertise. It makes sense. This is not a new thing. It was like, oh, shame on me for taking so long to figure it out. Well, hope you liked the video. Comment down below. You know the rules. And if you made this far, and if you don't know what else to put down, then just put in T80. Alright. Hope you keep the tracks in the ground, RNG's in favor. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.